You've been slacking, huh? I know, don't worry, it's natural, it's human, it happens to the best of us. No one here on this side of the internet is judging you, I promise. But especially, I really hope you are not judging yourself, because that's not how we roll around here. Instead, we are going to realign, refocus, and most importantly, re-strategize. That is what today's video is entirely about. So this is your 6-step strategy to get your life to the best possible routine for you to thrive and succeed over the next 6 months before another year hits in 2026. I'm so excited for this video. I thought it's only right that I film this because I'm actually at that phase right now. We're right in the middle of 2025. Every single year for several years, I've always done a mid-year strategy, okay? I am not about only setting goals and vision boarding in January, okay? I think that that is the bare minimum of the self-development world. You need that mid-year check-in. I personally do monthly check-ins, and I actually just wrote a newsletter detailing how you can do monthly check-ins and also extra tips, tools, resources, strategies, practical transformational tips, and a weekly challenge on accomplishing your mid-year reset. So if you missed that because you're not signed up to my newsletter, you can sign up for free via the link below in the description. If you've never done a mid-year reset, buckle up because I am literally about to change your life. And I kid you not, literally last week, I hosted a full-on vision board session with my friends. It's June and we were vision boarding in my apartment and it was the best thing and everybody felt so inspired and realigned and refocused on their goals. No one, okay, and I repeat, no one on my watch is gonna get to December and wonder, why didn't I achieve that goal? Or I forgot what my goals were. We are gonna ensure that you are gonna be successful, and all just from you watching this one video. Before we jump right into these 6 steps, I wanna give a quick thank you to Squarespace, who have sponsored today's video. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, Squarespace is the all-in-one website platform that helps you stand out and succeed online regardless of your business expertise. So if you set a goal back in January that you wanted to enter your entrepreneurship era this year, yet you literally have no idea where to start, you don't have any experience or anybody you can ask about that, Squarespace has got you. On the other hand, if you came into 2025 already having a business for several years and wanting to scale it and grow it and take it to empire level in 2025, Squarespace has also got you. They have an array, a multitude of so many different tools that is going to help you regardless of where you are on your entrepreneurship journey. For example, let's talk about SEO, which is search engine optimization. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it basically is about how high up your website is ranking on search engines. Squarespace makes sure that it's going to be easier for you to get discovered online with their integrated Squarespace SEO tools. Because every website is optimized to be indexed with meta descriptions, an auto-generated sitemap, and more. So you show up more often on search engines and bring in more of your ideal customers. Then we have analytics, which is so important. You need to be checking this regularly, but if you don't know where to start, how to use it to your advantage to build out the best business strategy for you, don't worry, Squarespace has got you. You can review website traffic, learn where to focus engagement, and track revenue from bookings, invoices, or product sales all in one place. Speaking of, you can bring in that extra revenue from a multitude of different streams, whether it be actually selling products and having like a whole warehouse, that's what I do with my journal business, or whether it's selling content or services, which means you don't need to ship anything out to your consumer, and it's actually easier than ever to run a business because you're just putting digital things up on your website, putting it behind a paywall, and watching that revenue roll in. If that sounds like something you want to accomplish within the next 6 months to get back on track with your yearly goals, then you guys can go to squarespace.com to sign up for a free trial, and whenever you're ready to launch your very first website, come back to my unique link, which is below in the description. That's squarespace.com/tamkaur, and that link right there is going to get you 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. Step number 1, back to basics. Like I said before, I hosted a vision board session with my friends in June. So if you did not have a vision board for this year, get to making it now. It is never too late. If you haven't written out a detailed list of your goals, split into each section of your life, e.g. finance, relationship, career, hobbies, lifestyle, self-development, start writing it now. With each of those goals, you can even turn them into SMART goals. Install trackers on Notion. Have your daily habit tracking app. I personally love the apps Habit and Structured. If everything I'm saying right now is new to you, then please watch the following videos on my channel so that you can catch up. For everyone else that has their vision board, has their list of goals, you know exactly who you want to be and the life you want to live, you need to be reevaluating your goals. Yes, that's right, because we are officially 6 months into the year, which means you are not the same person you started 2025 as. Not only that, but now you also have a different life. Circumstances have changed, you've gone through unexpected phases, you've probably met new people, and you've learned a hell of a lot of new lessons. So to be living this life with the outdated script and plan from 6 months ago isn't you serving your higher self. Yes, a lot of the things you were wishing for in January are still going to be relevant, but a lot of them aren't, and you might decide that you want to move those goals to 2026 instead, or they're simply not what you want to work on for this season right now, and that's completely okay. So I'll give you guys an example. One thing I'm focusing on right now is being a girl with a lot of hobbies. This is something I've wished to become for so many years, and there was just never quite the right time for me to achieve it. But right now I'm in a place in my life where I'm going to a book club every single week, and I have been for months, and I've also signed up to a 2-month painting class course. Who even am I? These are the things I always dreamed of doing, but never had the time, never had the resources, never really found the right time in my life. And now all of a sudden I'm in a phase where that's really easy for me to facilitate that and stay consistent with it. So I am focusing in on that, and I'm pouring so much into it. And I'm kind of moving some things out to a later date, which my current era doesn't really resonate with. And then another example of this, which I absolutely love, is I put 5 a.m. mornings on my vision board for this year, and I achieved it. January, February, March, I did it every single morning without fail. I actually loved it while I was doing it. I didn't even find it hard, even though it was the dead of winter and it was freezing. And now during summer, I actually thought it would be easier than ever to wake up because, you know, sunny days, better plans, and I haven't been able to do it. And the other day, I just really gave myself compassion, and I realized you are in a phase of your life where I have way more work events to be going to, and normally they start late, they end really late, meaning I've been going to bed a lot later because of the social plans I have and the work events I have to go to, which means I'm not meeting my wellness goals if I'm still trying to wake up at 5 a.m. after having late nights. And you know what? That's absolutely fine, because if I look at the rest of my vision board, I put going to work events on there, I put growing my job as an influencer, I put making new connections and networking. All of these late night events is helping me achieve those other goals, which means yes, while I enjoyed the 5 a.m. club for a while, it's just not meant for this particular season because I'm supposed to be prioritizing that goal at the moment. Essentially, I just want you to go through your list of goals and pick a few of them as priorities for this month, next month, maybe the next quarter. And then I also want you to build a drop list, either goals that you're going to move onto your list for next year or that you just want to get rid of completely because they might have been things you wanted, but now they're things you no longer need. Step number 2, progress check. This step is actually inspired by my journal, Obsessed with Growth, because this is a practice I do every single week. Essentially, it's super simple. All you have to do is write down the things that haven't been working versus the things that have been working for you over the last 6-month period. Like I said before, I journal on this every single week, so I now have... How many weeks are there in 6 months? I now have 26 weeks worth of progress checks that I can now combine to figure out what were the highlights of the first half of the year and what were the things that I really need to work on. So for example, in your progress check, maybe the things that haven't been working is you not taking any steps whatsoever towards a certain goal, or maybe it's the steps that you have taken you absolutely hate and it just feels like a chore, so maybe it's a goal that you actually need to drop. And then on the what's working side of your progress check, maybe it's the new lessons you've learned, maybe it's the new rituals and routine that are really catered to who you are as a person rather than the idealized routines you see online, or maybe it's the goals you achieved really quickly and effortlessly. This is really important because it's going to give you so much clarity before we move on to the next step, which is where we actually make the new strategy. So once you've done your progress check, you figured out this is where stuff went wrong and this is where stuff went right, I want you to answer the following questions. What worked in the last 6 months? What gave you motivation and momentum? What drained you? Which goals felt forced or fake? Which rituals helped you show up for yourself consistently? And which new habits or mindset shifts made you feel your best and most powerful? And remember, a progress check is not about beating yourself up, it's about clarity, it's about understanding yourself, and just basically making sure that the next 6 months are even more efficient because you have that information. Some extra ideas to allow you to progress on this is go through your list of goals for the year, and I want you to rate each of them on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of alignment with where you are right now. That way you can easily figure out what needs to be the top of your list for priorities that will align and resonate with the phase of your life you're in right now, which means you are going to be your best self when accomplishing those goals because they link with who you are and where you are in your life right now, whereas some others might need to get moved. Another idea is to also do a progress check on your mindset and your identity, your self-image, your self-concept, your subconscious mind most of all. Who have you been living as? Is it the person that you're so used to being and the person you're comfortable being? Or have you really been honoring your future higher self, the person that you're actually working towards becoming? Are your daily decisions, thoughts, emotions actually aligning with them every single day? If not, Let's figure it out and let's start making those shifts. Maybe every single morning you smash your morning routine and you are living as your higher self. But as soon as you hit the afternoon, you are not keeping up with your diet anymore and you're procrastinating. Figure out where the trigger is so that you can consistently show up as the best version of yourself all day long. Another thing you can do is look back at the events or big experiences you did over the last 6 months. I like to use my camera roll to go through my photos to remind myself of these. And I want you to track the emotion behind each experience or each big milestone. Figure out what gave you the largest positive charge. Figure out which spaces of your life you were operating from fear or pressure or insecurity. And figure out where you were putting so much effort that didn't actually give you so much in return, whether it would be a piece of work or a person. Step number 3, amplify the wins. Now this is never spoken about, but it is arguably one of the most important steps. Most people skip this step and they are just focused on what can I fix and how can I be better. And while that is super important, that is exactly how you get stuck in an endless cycle of self-criticism and needing to fix and improve yourself without actually getting to love, appreciate, and accept yourself. Plus, this step of amplifying your wins is so big for manifestation, self-concept, subconscious mind, positive thinking, and aligning yourself to the best energy so that you can actually attract every single thing you want. Think of it this way, all of your wins are just fuel for your manifestations. They literally activate your abundance. They are telling your subconscious, oh my God, you did that. You actually have the ability. You have the skills. This comes easily to you because you did X, Y, and Z, aka your portfolio of proof, which I've spoken about many times before, reference this video. When you are focusing on your wins and you are immersing yourself in the gratitude of them and the experience and the emotion behind it and how proud you felt of yourself and how capable you felt, you are literally telling the universe, yes, more of this please, because that's where all of my focus lies. My focus is not on, I don't have any of this yet, I need to keep getting more and more and more, I'm so far, I still have so much of the journey left. No, my focus is on, look how far I've come, look how much I've achieved, I have so much to be proud of. Everything comes easily to me because look how much proof I have of how great and capable and accomplished I am. See the difference? Literally celebrate like it's December 2025. 2026 is right around the corner. You are celebrating. You are so proud of yourself. You are looking back at the year in awe because you did that, because you ticked off every single thing you said you were going to do and then some. Because every single time you achieve something and you celebrate for a day and then you forget about it and you are just overlooking it, you're basically telling your subconscious mind that you don't really matter and that you are always going to be behind. There is always some next best thing that you are going to chase and you are always going to be one step too slow to get it because you never took the time to actually celebrate the fact that you've come so much further than old you ever thought you would have gone. So please embrace those moments, inject them even deeper into your subconscious mind so that you can continuously reprogram it to make it believe that you are the strongest, bestest, most powerful version of yourself. Share those moments on social media, talk about them with your family and friends, write about them in your journal. That way you can talk about it for as long as you want. That's my favorite thing in the world. And that right there is exactly how you attract even more success and abundance without physically having to do anything. It's all about the emotion and the mindset. Step number 5, turn losses into lessons. Didn't hit your gym goal, didn't get straight A's, burned out trying to do too much all at once, launched something new and it didn't quite get the results you expected. Good, great. All of that information is lessons that is gonna power you up to be even better than you were before. Because the most successful people are not perfect and they didn't receive win after win after win. Although maybe it looks like that, I promise you, with any person you have ever looked up to, any successful, wealthy person out there, if you look into their past, they launched so many things that fell flat. They had so many side ventures that nobody even heard of because it never got attention in the first place. But what they did do is they turned all of those losses into new information that they could use to power up their next venture that did end up being a success. Because the people who just end up getting everything perfect and everything right, I'm honestly telling you, do not end up going very far. It's through the life experience, it's through the failures, whether it be failures in business, in work, in life, in friendship, in dating, gives you all the information to be so great. If I found the love of my life at 17, I would not have been able to publish a literal self-love book because I wouldn't have had the failures that taught me the lessons that turned me into the person I was today, because it encouraged me to go on a journey that I never would have had the idea to go on had I not failed so many times. So now that you're done feeling badly about yourself because some things didn't go to plan, let's re-strategize. This is where you're gonna ditch all of that romanticized productivity content that we all see about hustle culture and grinding into the early hours of the morning and actually just build a really nice personalized plan that suits our lives and our needs and our emotions and our goals, because every single person watching this video is gonna have a different goal of what they want their life to look like. Every single person watching this video has a different idea of what happiness means to them. If that isn't the biggest sign that you need to stop copying other people's routines, I don't know what is. Please start honoring your intuition and what works for you. If you only want to be the type of person that literally works Monday to Thursday, you do that. Stop feeling badly about taking days off. If you're the type of person that you feel most energized when you wake up at 10 in the morning instead of 6 in the morning, please do that if that is the way you are wired as a human being. Because let's not forget, we are all building out the dream version of ourselves, right? The life that is so abundant and so carefree and so easy. Why would we be forcing ourselves to do things now that we don't even like if we are trying to get a life that is so abundant and so enjoyable? If the dream, wealthy, successful version of yourself is so abundant that they get to wake up at any time they want in future, why are you not doing that now? Asking all of these questions about who you really are and what you want while just cancelling out all of that noise, I think is the biggest test in how much you trust yourself, which, let's not forget, builds the relationship and self-concept and self-love, which is really the key to manifesting anything you want anyway. And it's also a test in how much you can work according to your frequency, not everyone else's. So when it comes to turning losses into lessons, here are some prompt questions you can use to get to the bottom of things so that you can literally analyze your life like a really successful entrepreneur, get to the bottom of it and turn all of the things that went wrong into literal treasure. What assumptions did you wrongly make that led you to making this mistake? Which systems were missing which could have actually saved you? What emotional state were you in when you made the decisions that led to that situation? Lastly, I want to say that this very practice, like answering those questions, reframing your perspective in those losses and turning them into valuable lessons, is amazing, because for the first time in your life, you are looking at these losses or these mistakes from such a detached place, whereas in previous years, you looked at these mistakes from such a place of frustration and negativity and anger and criticism towards yourself. And that right there is really where it goes wrong, because when you are saying all of those things, you are storing them as negative beliefs which stay in your subconscious mind, which is going to block your manifestation powers and which is going to just introduce obstacle after obstacle in the path right in front of you because you chose to respond to yourself in a negative, non-self-loving way. But when you look at those losses as things that purely just serve your strategy and your higher self, that's the realest test of resilience. So please treat those losses as the opportunities they all are. And finally, step number 6, scheduling is king. This is my favorite step because it saves my life every single time and I will never stop talking about it. This was truly the difference in achieving every single thing on my vision board every single year versus forgetting about some things coming to the end of the year and just like thinking in regret. Number 1, you need to schedule monthly or weekly check-ins in your calendar, whatever you want. So let's say you're gonna do monthly. On the 30th of every single month, I want you to put in a calendar event to review your vision board and to review your huge list of goals, which I hope you've written down. And during those check-ins, you can do an extra progress check to make sure that you're not staying in repeated cycles. Another part of scheduling you can do is commit to journaling every single morning. This helps you be your own accountability partner and really helps you identify any thoughts that could be lingering in the back of your subconscious mind, things that you wouldn't be aware of if you weren't taking the time to dive deeper and write down your thoughts every day. Then I want you to look at your large list of goals and I want you to split them up into priorities for every single month of the year or whatever phase of your life you're in right now. I just want you to take literally 2 or 3 as priority goals and schedule them over the next few months or the next few weeks, whatever works for you. That way, when you're going through your weekly priorities of getting dinner with friends or going to work or attending that interview or that event, you also have, oh my God, I need to start learning French, or I need to book in that painting class soon, or I need to go and take a solo trip, and you are never going to forget it because then it takes priority just like every other thing in your life. You are never going to be able to give yourself the opportunity to forget the goals you are setting for yourself. An example I have of this is every 2 weeks I have a repeating calendar event and it says review journal business goals, because one of my goals for this year, it's actually a SMART goal, was to grow my self-obsessed journal business. And I have like all of these objectives and trackers on my Notion. So every single 2 weeks I have that reminder to go back into that Notion tracker, see what's working, see what isn't, redefine the strategy. And I'm never gonna forget or let it slack or like leave behind. I want you to start treating your calendar as the place where all of your manifestations come true. Because every single time you write it in as an alert, it's happening. Your future self has already taken action towards it. It's done. You don't even need to worry about it anymore. Another thing you can do is like block out each week with themed days. I kind of already do this with my work schedule and I feel like it really contributed to me growing as an influencer and just like getting on top of my workload and making time for as many things as I do. So every single Tuesday is my filming day. It's where I batch my YouTube content, my TikTok content, everything else like that. Mondays are my writing days. It's where I write my newsletters, my scripts for my content, planning my content, figuring out what I'm gonna vlog that week. Thursdays and Fridays are strictly business days. I am not worrying about YouTube. I am not doing any other type of content. Everything else is done and then I can go tunnel vision just on that part of my life. Nowadays, I actually barely look at my calendar because just from the day of week it is, I know exactly what I need to prioritize and focus on. And don't just schedule work, schedule your self-love and self-care routines, schedule socializing with your friends, schedule networking, schedule your workouts and your wellness habits and your investment goals. Every single month, literally on the 30th, I have look at investments, and then I have to organize my monthly salary into all of the different things that I invest in so that I never forget. And then lastly, this is optional, every single Sunday, not only are you gonna put in a calendar event that says Sunday reset so you can stay on top of your wellness habits, but you can put in prompts in your calendar. Put in a prompt every single Sunday that said, how did I do this week? You can reflect on it in your mind, you can journal on it, you can simply look back in all of the pictures you took that week in your camera roll, and it's a really nice way to just remember and celebrate how far you're going, refer back to step number 3, and also stay accountable on your journey and reflect on anything else you wanna prioritize this week because you might have missed it in the previous week. And that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you're all going to be actioning your mid-year resets. If you do, please comment down below, let me know what you're going to be focusing on and what was your favorite step in this 6-step strategy. I would love to know. Before you go, I would love it if you went down below to the description and check out all the links there, because I promise you every single link there is going to help you become your best self. I have a vlog channel where I show you my life and how I use all of the advice that I give on this channel. I have a newsletter that goes out fortnightly with exclusive advice and tips that you're never going to hear anywhere else. I have my Instagram and TikTok, which also uploads self-help advice. I have my Snapchat where I daily vlog my life if you're curious enough to know. And I also have a book and a journal. This is going to help you accomplish self-love, and this right here is going to help you accomplish self-growth. Definitely check it out, and I will see you same time next week for a brand new video. I appreciate you. Bye.